Hey everyone, welcome back to the Focus on Vocabulary 1 series. I am Masood and today we're going to explore Chapter 17, all about Techno-Doping. It is a super interesting topic where sports and technology collide. Whether you're studying for IELTS, TOEFL or just looking to improve your English, this video will boost your academic vocabulary with 25 keywords related to this theme. Let's dive right in. So, what is techno-doping? It is when athletes use technology to gain an advantage that some say goes beyond natural talent or ability. For example, think about swimsuits that reduce drag in the water or even new headgear in boxing that changes how fighters approach the sport. While these technologies make the sport more exciting and safer, they also raise questions about fairness. Should athletes rely on tech to win, or should their natural skill and training decide the outcome? Throughout this video, I'll introduce vocabulary that helps you better understand this controversy and how technology has reshaped modern sports. Let's move into the vocabulary you'll need to discuss techno-doping confidently. I've selected 25 important words for you. Let's take a look at the first 5. Alike, similar or comparable. For example, the two athletes are alike in their training styles, but one uses high-tech gear while the other doesn't. Ban, to officially prohibit something. For example, satin swimsuits were banned because they gave swimmers an unfair advantage. The next one is barrier, something that blocks progress. Boxing, a sport in which two opponents fight using their fists. For example, in boxing, new gloves and helmets were designed for safety, but they have raised new concerns. Broadcast, to transmit a program or signal to a large audience. For example, the Super Bowl is broadcast to millions of people around the world every year. Now that we've covered the first 5 words, let's move on to the next set. Champion, a winner of a competition. For example, the champion boxer has access to the best technology, giving him an edge over his competitors. Controversial, causing disagreement or discussion. For example, techno-doping is a controversial issue because it blurs the line between fair and unfair competition. Crash. Crash refers to collide with something or someone, often used in sports like motor racing. For example, technological advances in car design have helped reduce injuries after a crash. Cushioned, padded or softened to absorb impact. For example, boxing gloves are cushioned to protect the hands, but they can also make athletes more aggressive. The next vocabulary which I really like is dedicated, devoted to a specific purpose. For example, many athletes are dedicated to their sport and rely on technology to stay competitive. Alright, we're making great progress. Here is the third group of words. Dueling, a place where someone lives. For example, technological advances bring sports into our duelings through live broadcasts. The next vocabulary is exposure, which refers to the state of being made known or introduced to something. For example, athletes get more exposure through online streaming platforms. The next one is gambling. Guys, gambling means betting money on the outcome of a competition. Here is an example. With techno-doping, there is a higher risk of illegal gambling in sporting events. Yeah, we've seen a lot. And the next one is giant. Giant is something very large or powerful. And for instance, large tech companies or giants dominate the sports industry by providing advanced equipment. Next vocabulary is glory. Honor won through achievement, right? For example, for athletes, glory can come from winning championships, but some believe it should only be achieved naturally. And the next group of vocabulary is glove, a protective covering for the hand. And to make myself clear, I've got to make an example for you guys. Boxers wear gloves to protect themselves, but these also affect how the sport is played. Next vocabulary is gravel, small stones often used in running tracks or racing circuits. For example, high-tech racing tracks use gravel to prevent cars from crashing into barriers. Helmet. Yeah, helmet is a protective head covering, right? For example, without modern helmet designs, motor racing would be much more dangerous. The next vocabulary is launch. Launch means to start or introduce something new. For example, the launch of new sports technology can often lead to world records being broken. I highly recommend this vocabulary because I think that it's really beautiful vocabulary to memorize. The next one is participation, the act of taking part in an activity. For example, the cost of equipment can lower participation rates in some sports. Okay, the next group, the fifth group of vocabulary. The first one is scandal, an event causing public outrage. For example, there was a scandal when it was revealed that some athletes used illegal technology to win. The next vocabulary is silk. Silk refers a soft, smooth fabric. For example, in the past, swimsuits made of silk were seen as an unfair advantage. And the next one is unprecedented, never done or known before. For example, the use of advanced equipment led to an unprecedented number of world records being broken. Good. Next one is wool. Wool is a fabric made from sheep's hair. For example, before technological advances, athletes wore wool swimsuits, which were less effective. Great job! Now that we've reviewed all 25 words, let's talk about some real-life examples of techno-doping. One famous example is the controversy over swimsuits. In 2008, a new swimsuit design led to 108 world records being broken in a single year, which raised concerns about whether athletes were achieving greatness because of their skill or the technology. Similarly, in boxing, new gloves and helmets have led to more brain injuries because athletes feel safer, even though the risk is still there. Thanks for sticking with me through Chapter 17 of Focus on Vocabulary 1. Remember, these words are not just important for exams like IELTS or TOEFL, they're useful in any discussion about sports and technology. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out the next chapters in this series. See you next time.